His BSc degree in computer engineering with a minor in computer science from Iowa State University, USA. He received the master's degree and the PhD degree from Illinois Institute of Technology of USA. He joined Khalifa University in August 2010, and he is teaching graduate and undergraduate courses in the areas of cloud computing, network security, computer networks, operating systems, and performance modeling and analysis. Prior to joining Khalifa University, he worked for 10 years at the Department of Information and Computer Science at Khalifa University of Petroleum and Minerals, KFUPM, in KSA. In addition to 3 patents, he has over 145 publications. He was the recipient of many research and teaching awards. Just to name a few, Khalifa University Outstanding Research Award, KFUPM University Excellence in Research Award, and KFUPM Best Research Project Award. He is a senior member of IEEE and served on the editorial board of many journals. So I'm most honored, and I would be very grateful if you join me in welcoming Prof. Khaled Salah.
Very good morning to all of you. Thank you all for attending this presentation. I know for many of you this is an early hour, so I hope this presentation will be really useful, beneficial, and really worthwhile your time. And thank you, Dr. Hassan, for inviting me. Thank you for your warm hospitality and welcome. And thank you, Dr. Rahim, for this introduction. My talk today is this perfect blend of involving IoT, cloud, and blockchain, and this is it falls at the heart of the theme of this conference, and it falls at the heart of the 2030 vision of the kingdom in the way that it's going to transform this oil-based economy into industrial-based economy, into digital economy, into knowledge-based economy. Nowadays, we know a lot about the cloud, but what we see now, IoT is emerging. These blockchain and IoT are two of the most newly emerging, highly hyped technologies nowadays. IoT, Cisco predicts by the year 2020 will have more than 50 billion devices and even more than that. And the market value for IoT will be more than $20 trillion. Blockchain, that's the new game in town. Blockchain, if you look at it now, in terms of quality, characteristics, potential, and even the growth, it looks like the internet back in 1994. So blockchain, I'll give you some introduction about it, but look at it from your area, you'll see lots of transformation and disruption to the banking industry, to almost any industry that you can think about. The blockchain will be really playing a big role in transforming things. So with that, the highlight of my presentation will be IoT and the blockchain growth. So I really alluded to that part. I'll share with you some of the IoT use cases that both, or the 3 ingredients of IoT, blockchain, and the cloud will play really a big role in that. And I'll talk about also IoT and the cloud integration. Cloud, IoT devices are resource-constrained devices. They need the cloud to augment some of their limited capacity in terms of compute and memory. I'll share with you blockchain basics so that you can appreciate some of the projects I'm involved in with my students. And I'll highlight the 3 use cases, and at the end, I'll give you some takeaways. So if you go to Google Trends, and Google Trends is really a nice resource whereby you can see what's hot out there. So if you are a research student or a research professor, and you want to really do a research that makes an impact, Google Trends is a really nice way to do that. So if you go to Google Trends and plug in these keywords, IoT, blockchain, cloud computing, and big data, what you'll see that I have plotted it from the year 2000 all the way to now, and you can see in this, okay, I think I'm playing with it. Does this work? Okay, well, if you follow the trends over time, the popularity of cloud computing, that's the yellow curve. You see about 2010, it reached the high peak, and then after that it started to taper off. And the same trend you see with big data. Big data is a big subject here, and I think the next presentation will be about that. It's the green curve, and it's really hitting a big high at this time. But it's reaching somewhat maturity, and it will start to reach a plateau. But the big two things that really getting lots of attention and gaining lots of attraction are IoT and blockchain, and there's a big, a huge potential for growth there. The same thing is confirmed by Gartner reports. This is Gartner report talking about the hype cycle for newly emerging technology. And you do this every year. This is something I follow almost every year and watch that. And you can see that if you go to the right there, you see like there's that blockchain at what we call the peak of inflated expectation, and that's really the hype, or the peak of the hype. After a while, over years, it goes into what's called the trough, the disillusionment. You know, it doesn't deliver what's supposed to be delivered, and after a while, it reaches sort of like a plateau, becomes like a widely spread technology. You see blockchain at the top there. You see like AI is a big deal nowadays. IoT is also there, and you see also cloud computing in different forms. You know, shaping it in the form of serverless computing. If you know Amazon, anybody knows uses Amazon AWS. Okay, this is the use of Lambda functions, sort of like these small compute functions that you can use. So in terms of IoT growth, as I said, Gartner says by 2020 we'll have about 26 billion devices. Cisco predicting more than that. And Cisco says like by 2019 the market will have about 24 billion connected devices, and the market value will be worth more than 19 trillion. $19 trillion. Right. Blockchain, we're entering now the era of blockchain. I'll explain that at a later point. And then I put the hashtag on front of blockchain because people are actively tweeting about the subject. So if you want to know what's the latest, follow on Twitter this hashtag, and you can get like the latest in that technology. Blockchain is a really big deal in Dubai. It's a really big deal within the Emirates. So lots of projects ongoing there, lots of initiatives are being undertaken by the Dubai government. Dubai has mandated this vision. Anything that is government related as far as the transaction has to be stored and uploaded on a blockchain. So by 2020, they will have this paperless transactions. Dubai is really aggressive. There's lots of competition around there. They also have they've got this consortium of blockchain consortium that is global, and they position themselves to be the global capital of a blockchain. Okay, I'm not sure. Excuse me about the activities down here. I'm sure that in Saudi Arabia there's some similar activities. Okay, let me give you some of the background of these technologies and sort of like gradually introducing more advanced topic. If you look at IoT, and we start asking this question, I want this to be interactive somewhat. If you look at IoT technology, you look at the cloud, and you look at blockchain, what is really the common denominator among these three innovations or three technologies? There's something,
Communication.
there's something common. Computation, internet, what else?
Communications.
Communication, that's there.
Internet business.
Internet business, but you think about it in terms of the impact they can provide.
Huge data.
Nice.
Huge data.
Right? All right.
Data science.
You can do data science. Yeah. So IoT data shoots in the cloud, and you can do analytics in the cloud. Security actually spins around all of them. Sure. Anything else?
Integrity.
Yeah, security integrity is there. Blockchain is the best in that. Okay, when we talk about data integrity, and that's really a big selling point for blockchain, nothing beats blockchain in that particular quality. Okay, so we'll talk about that. But if you look at the three common, or among these three technologies, look for one common thing in terms of impact. This is, they provide what's called horizontal innovation. These are horizontal technologies that will have an impact in so many sectors, so many industries, and so many areas. So let me explain to you, speak about the difference between vertical innovations versus horizontal innovations. If you look at, for example, insulin. Insulin is called a vertical innovation because that invention is specific to that particular field, to medicine. It doesn't apply to, say, aerospace industry or mechanical engineering or something else. Okay, so that's a vertical innovation. It doesn't impact any other. But if you look at the wheel, the invention of the wheel, think about any industry, whether it's the schools, universities, hospitals, wherever, you will find wheels applied there, okay? So that's what we call horizontal innovation, whereby it has an impact in so many areas, so many fields. Microwave is a vertical innovation or a vertical technology that is specific, say, to food industry, nothing else. Electricity, that's a horizontal innovation. I think that's actually the base for the second industrial revolution, and nowadays nothing works without almost electricity. Smartwatches, you can argue that the Apple guys thought about the smartwatches, not only providing time, but it's something that you can use to measure your vital signs and things like that. So that's specific maybe to healthcare industry. But you look about the internet, cloud, IoT, right? And also blockchain, that's basically a horizontal innovation that I can see, and people, experts argue that will have a wide impact that will be massively used, massively adopted by so many industries. So the impact, and the point I'm trying to drive here, the impact of these technologies is going to be like the electricity for the second industrial revolution. Let me talk about IoT, and then we talk about blockchain, and a little bit about the cloud computing. IoT, the term IoT is sort of like misleading, confusing. It's more about the Internet of Things. It's more about the things than the Internet. The Internet by itself, in terms of protocol, infrastructure, networking, is really mature. Okay? But what's really new here is the things. You can take any device and make it smart. And the better term for Internet of Things is, you can call it smart connected devices. Take any electromechanical device. Take the projector here, and you can make it smart. The way you make it smart, you add CPU to it, you add internet connectivity, you add an IP address, and this way you'll be able to remotely control it, read data from it, and share that data with the cloud and things like that. Then it becomes a smart. And And that's actually an ingredient for innovation. Think about anything. I was talking to Dr. Abdulaziz before the presentation. I told him that I'm teaching IoT and blockchain. But part of the project that I asked the student, think about like any electromechanical device and make it smart. And a person came up with a smart mabkha, okay, whereby you can, before you reach home, she can start the mabkha, warm up the coil or the electrical coil and start it, so you don't have to do it at home. So these things are like they say like the foundation and the base for innovation and for commercialization. This is this is something I saw at Panda. I mean, they have a Panda in UAE, and this is a smart toothbrush. Okay, it got sensors, and as your kids are brushing your teeth, or you're brushing your teeth, this sensor sending information back to the cloud, and from the cloud you can access this data and see how good you're brushing your teeth. So as you walk into the dentist for your next visit, you can tell you, well, you got a gap with you because you're missing that spot there all the time. Okay? So this is something that you can think of. There is a project in UAE called Smart Connected Camels. This is similar to Smart Connected Cows, whereby you can put these sensors on the cows and you can monitor their health, their well-being. You can put these sensors on their legs and measure how healthy they are, how active they are. So you can predict their sickness and take a proactive move in doing something about it. There are like sensors at the tail of the cow there, so you can predict when they're giving a birth. The farmer can be alerted and the veterinarian can be alerted, so we can have a healthy baby calf. So these are projects that you or your student can do with IoT, involving also the cloud for video analytics. This is a Jarir bookstore. This is called a smart bottle. A Jarir bookstore. I've seen that one, and I thought this is something good to share. But this is a bottle whereby you can, with sensors at the bottom, and it can tell you how much water you are taking and how much caffeine you're taking if you put coffee into that. So things about anything that is a thing and make it smart. I talked about the projector. You can make the projector smart whereby it can even order like bulbs as it starts to fail. It can sense the bulb is failing, and then it can order that automatically, so you don't have to be involved. This is a smart vending machines with personalized interaction. As you come close to the vending machine, it can remember who you are, what your last order was, and all of that stuff. But also it's good in sending notification and sort of like ordering items when they are low from the stock, or when they're like a part that is failing, so it can alert the repairman to come and fix it. So the vending person does not have to come all the time to that vending, make like 3 trips. He makes the trips more efficiently when there is like low and stock items. And driverless cars. Okay, that's the new innovation. Now, modern cars, they have about 80 CPUs. We're not talking about Tesla Roadster. We're not talking about electrical cars, but just a normal car. They've got about 80 CPUs. So you have like you have a data center on wheels in a way, right? So with these things, you can of course think about how you can embed IoT devices and make use of them in any product. Driverless cars, this was the point of entrepreneurship, the point of invention. We started with that, and now we've got Didactics in Dubai. We have flying taxis. We have flying, the driverless shuttle buses and things like that. Back last year, in November 2017, this was a driverless shuttle bus was debuted in Las Vegas to give you free rides. And 2 hours later, we heard the news, 2 hours later, after it started, got into an accident involving a semi truck.
So she was not smart.
Well, it wasn't, maybe it was smart. If you follow the news, they say it wasn't the fault of the driver of this car, it was the fault of the semi truck. Nobody was hit, right? And nowadays, you know, we're talking about Elon Musk and what he does with SpaceX. You've got a Tesla driver, you know, it's not a driverless, but this is electrical semi-truck. It has like an autopilot sort of thing. But the invention of this, you know, it can out-torque. It can out-torque or outrun uphill like a normal diesel truck.
If she was smart, she will not have an accident. She will avoid the accident.
True. So AI plays a big factor there. So things are being like improved little by little. Okay, so IoT and cloud integration. As I mentioned, IoT devices are really small in capabilities. They are resource-constrained devices. The memory is small. The computation, the CPU is really small, and even the internet connectivity is small. So they need to do something big. Okay, they have to seek the cloud. So the cloud is really the preferred platform to do things at the scale in terms of authentication, authorization, management, and localize, aggregate of this IoT data to aggregate it, store it, and perform analytics on. You need the cloud. Also, something that you have to watch for this era of edge computing or fog computing, okay? Whereby you don't have to seek the cloud to do things, and so you want to do like localized storage, localized computation. You want to be in control of your data, in control of your privacy, the preferred platform. So with that, you get low latency. You pay less for the cloud. You get access instantly to your data, and you have control access. So in terms of like compliance to regulations, whereby your data has to be kept within your jurisdiction, edge computing is beyond lots and lots of research problems in that. So I'm going to talk next about blockchain. Yeah, that's something I really find a lot of passion to talk about. Okay. So blockchain is explained to me is very hard technology to explain. But the blockchain is the underlying technology of Bitcoin. And it came to solve a very interesting problem. It came to solve what's called the double spending problem. So if you got Alice and Bob, this is like the persons we use in cryptography. If Alice wants to send money to Bob, okay, how can you prevent Alice to send the same amount of money, electronic dirham or dollar, to Eve or Omar or Zayd to a third party? So rather than having a double spending problem, you have triple spending problem, could be quadruple spending a problem, or multi-spending a problem. Now, if you try to solve this in a centralized manner, in a centralized way, this becomes very easy problem to solve. You have a centralized server, like Apple Pay or PayPal. That's easy. I keep track how much Alice has. I keep track how much Eve has. I keep track of each person has, and when they send the money, they are allowed to send the money or not. So solving this problem in a centralized way is so easy. But solving it in a decentralized way, without a centralized server, becomes a very hard computer science to solve. Okay? And the first solution, the first pragmatic practical solution we had back in 2009 when Satoshi Nakamoto put out his paper about Bitcoin and blockchain. And that paper was really the spark that caught a wildfire, and people find really big value with blockchain. So blockchain, in a way, is a distributed ledger, distributed database that is open, accessible by all parties at all time. And if you have data, yes?
Who invented the blockchain? Is it one
Yeah, Satoshi Nakamoto, you're talking to him.
You are?
No, that's a good question. Nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto for obvious good reasons. But he's an anonymous guy. You know, they pointed him to a person in Australia.
To the end of the session.
Yeah, that was at the 2009 was like really the economic crisis of the whole world, and that paper came out.
There's a theory that it was the IMF that invented the blockchain anyway.
There are lots of speculation, but to tell you the truth, nobody knows for sure who that guy is. It could be, some people speculated it could be multiple people. It's like a group of people who did it. And if you start looking at the details, the technical details of this and how it works, this is really mind-blowing. I mean, this guy is really genius. Not genius in cryptography, in networking, in so many aspects, but in economics. And you know, thinking about inflation and news and appreciation, depreciation, that's so there could be a guy to be multiple people.
Do you think the blockchain is the part of the dark web?
Oh, the part of what?
Dark web?
No, dark web is a different thing. Dark web is a platform where people trade, illegal stuff, including body parts and stuff like that. But that's dark web is no. But the blockchain is a now for dark web people pay for this illegal material using like Bitcoin. So the payment and the financing is done in an anonymous way through Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, as I said, is just like the first application. You can think about Bitcoin is like the email for the internet, or the first application to that. Right. So it's a shared ledger. I mean, the best analogy for blockchain is like Wikipedia. It's a database that everybody is allowed to modify, to contribute to edit, to trace the history of the document, things of that sort. Blockchain, it's strict also using military-grade cryptography algorithms, mainly elliptic curve and SHA-256 for hashing. It uses consensus. So in blockchain is that concept of miners and mining, and we have about 70,000 miner nodes or mining nodes in Bitcoin, and they all share the information in terms of the database. They share also the outcome of the execution. If Edison's money to Bob, it's valid and it becomes part of the ledger. And they have different consensus algorithms. So somebody can collude, but we go with the majority of the consensus, at least 51% of the consensus. The nodes have to agree on the outcome. And we have different types of consensus algorithms, power of work mainly, power of elapsed time, and power of state. And the next big thing that happened to blockchain was as an exchange platform. I send you a Bitcoin, you exchange it, that's it. But what's really new and phenomenal now and very disruptive and catching the eyes of so many people is this concept of smart contracts, whereby you can also introduce programmability to the blockchain. So you can upload code, and these minor nodes will execute the code, and the execution outcome will be validated and verified and agreed on by all mining nodes. Well, that smart contracts, I can say, okay, when the temperature falls beyond or goes beyond a certain value, go buy me an ice cream, and that is done. And the payment goes to the ice cream provider. I get my ice cream. So you can put rules and conditions or just normal logic, business logic on the blockchain, and it gets executed automatically. So we talked about the blockchain. The name of blockchain, think about it as like a chain of blocks. Okay? So every block has its transactions. Right? Who did what and at what time, and you hash all of that transactions. You get a hash, and you link it with the next block. So, and then the next block will be hashed, and the hash value will be put in the headers of the next block. So you have chain of blocks that are hashed. One bit of a change will invalidate all prior blocks, okay? And that's what you get integrity out of it, right? So nobody can change it, nobody can play with it, and changing only one bit will invalidate all the blocks. And that's really, really, really empowering feature. We talked about the smart contract concept. Anybody knows this guy? How old is this guy? What nationality? Russia. Who said Russia? Yeah, he's a Russian guy. Actually, he migrated to Canada when he was 9 years old. He went to the University of Waterloo at the early stage. He got crazy about cryptocurrencies, and he found after 1 year Waterloo sort of like boring, so he dropped out and started like looking at the cryptocurrencies. And in 2014, he introduces the Ethereum blockchain network. And Ethereum is this ability to program the blockchain to do anything that you want between parties. Okay, so his name is Vitalik Buterin, actually, and he's really famous. He started this in 2014. You put the paper. I mean, you want to talk about story for your students for entrepreneurship and innovation. This is really a textbook story. In 2014, he put a white paper on Ethereum blockchain, and he asked for donation. And 4 weeks later, he got about $14 million. And then 12 months later, his net worth value of that company was like $1.2 billion. But if you look at Ethereum, anybody following Bitcoin and Ethereum prices, what is the Ether price? Anybody knows?
Very low.
No, it's not very low. It's like, last night I looked it up, it was $800. So this is like 800 times the value that he's talking about. Again, blockchain provides this open trust, globally accessible, verifiable by all, and it has this, you do this audit in a decentralized way. We know centralized computation or centralized management or governance is really bad. Because when you have any central entity, it becomes a single point of failure, single point of hacking, single point of corruption, bureaucracy, single point of privacy evasion, and single point of high cost, right? You need people to maintain it, to make sure that that they're available there all the time. So decentralization is the new trend, and you see, blockchain is really the way to move forward and and it provides auditing. Okay, so you look at this is accessible by all. You can see who did what. The transactions are there. Nobody can tamper with them, and so you have this powerful feature of auditing and transparency. And you have this resiliency feature. Bitcoin was attacked in 2009. DDoS attacks here and there, and all types of attacks are still up and running. It experienced a bubble a little bit, but it's still gaining strength after strength. And we talk about integrity. Whatever you do there, whatever information you store in the blockchain, you store it in really tamper-proof data with high integrity, consistency, and even accuracy. Okay, so talking about application domain of blockchain is really disruptive technology that can be applied to any field, any area you can think of, whether it's in finance. Banks are really scared of it, and sort of like trying to be involved in healthcare, in distribution, in food and architecture. Blockchain, there was like a talk given by Walmart CEO about the new experience of online shopping. In online shopping, I'm shopping for tomato or a mango. So you can, before you buy the mango online, you can go and with blockchain, you can go and trace and track its origin and its history. What country it was made from, what farm, the history of its distribution as it's moved from the farm to the warehouse to be shipped from one point to another. And if I would like all of this history, I would like the farm or the way it was planted, I would buy it. And that is something you can do only with a blockchain, whereby it can involve different countries, right? Something that was, let's say, manufactured in Mexico, shipped to the U.S. So that blockchain will revolutionize, in a way, transform the online shopping experience. Manufacturing, for example, spare parts. You want to know its history, where it came from. That's you embed IoT devices in that, and you empower or use a blockchain to track all its history and who has access to it, who owns it, and stuff like that. In diamond trading, in oil trading. I mean, you can think about any type of trading. I'll share some of our projects with you at some point. So there are some lots and zillions of applications that a blockchain can play a factor or a role in. I'll share with you some of the projects I'm involved in a way. For energy trading, excess energy, excess surplus with smart grids. I'll play with you like the way that car accident can be shared, and that is really a good example of how the cloud, IoT, as well as the blockchain would be used. And my students, grad and undergrad students, are working on a project called cold supply chain and smart containers. Okay, so you have this idea of what's called power ledger, and so this is smart grids where you have solar panels at the roof of your house, and that electricity is transformed into like battery energy, and you get smart meters. These are smart connected devices, and if you connect them to the cloud and you connect them to, say, Ethereum, the blockchain, you have this ability that the smart meter will start negotiating and selling with other smart meters. So if you are, for example, taking your summer vacation, so that excess surplus energy that being stored in your battery will be of no use. But the smart meter can sell it for you. So when you come back, your travel expenses will not pay off. So it can sell it to your neighbor, it can sell it to the highest bidder, and you can govern this with smart meter, that's IoT, with the cloud, all of that logic will be put there, and also with the blockchain to transfer money and know who really the highest bidder is and things of that sort. The future of handling car accident, that involves the cloud. So if a car goes into accident, that will notify the manufacturer cloud that data about the cloud can take all of that data and ship it to your insurance company, as well as it can call 911 the paramedics. So that's really a good example. And the insurance records, okay, this imagery of the car accidents, or the data that were relayed from the IoT devices. This goes in the blockchain. The insurance company cannot tamper with it. You yourself or your medical records cannot be hacked and things of that sort. So that's a really nice example of IoT, blockchain, and this stuff. 10 minutes? 3 minutes. Okay, I think I'm there. This is a project that's including Q&A. We'll have a Q&A afterwards. This is a project I'm involved with my students in. Actually, we're competing in the EMC build and vision competition, but we're building what's called a smart container, and that's for cold supply chain. So, for example, Marai, if you want to track the milk that you receive in your fridge, did it ever, as being shipped, was it ever refrigerated? Was the temperature? How do you guarantee that the temperature was below, say, a certain value? You don't have, as a customer, we don't have that empowerment. We don't have that visibility. So what you have smart container that you put in it, like vaccine, medical equipment that should be refrigerated over time, and you ship it. Okay, and if there is like a violation at any time, like the temperature was raised by a certain value, you get a notification. So the IoT device will put that notification to the customer, store it on the blockchain so nobody can dispute it, refute it, and things of that sort. So this is the smart container. This is blue thing here. We're have different types of sensors. So you could have the humidity sensor, you could have temperature, vibration sensor, so the container sort of like had had fallen or broken suddenly, you can track all of that. It got a GPS, so can it track it's wrapped and it's path that's being shipped from one point to another. And you shoot that all to the cloud using Dockerized containers with MQTT, publish, subscribe, store it in the database, and everybody can access it with using their mobile devices. This is the block diagram. We're using Arduino boards to access the sensory information and also shoot it to the cloud. And I can talk about that later. For the sake of time, just move forward. Blockchain, you want to do like research about the challenging problems of blockchain, you can look at the infrastructure. But as I mentioned to Dr. Abdelaziz, with the blockchain, you want to do research or development, you can do it at the application layer, like for example the Mango online, Mango store for online shopping. Or you can try to enhance the infrastructure and the networking aspect and the security aspects of the blockchain itself. So there's that scalability problem. Blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain in particular, is slow. Okay, there are more ways to improve that. It's not good as far as scalability, efficiency. Whatever you do in the blockchain, everybody can see it, but he cannot know who you are. Okay. So that we've got the privacy issues, and there are lots of solutions to that. GDPR, this is, anybody heard about GDPR? This is the General Data Protection Regulation. It's really a big deal in Europe, okay? So if you, it has this notion of the right to be forgotten. You as an internet user uploaded a picture, but after 7 years it should not be there anymore. So how can you guarantee this? Now, blockchain would have a problem with that, right? Because if you remove it, that will invalidate everything else. Okay, so how can you do it in a way, and there are ways to do it, and I can share that with you. How can you do it in a way that removes the data, but still provide an integrity to the blockchain data? In the blockchain, if you lose your key, okay, there's no bank manager you can go and complain to and cry to. You lose it, you lose it. Okay, so arbitration is really a bigger problem there. Key collision, we have the same seed, we have the same, happens to same. The key collision, the probability is really infinitely, insanely small, but it could happen, and it does happen. So these are some of the blockchain challenges that, as a researcher, you can consider and work on. Some takeaways, this is my final slide. The takeaways, the perfect storm is here. Think about it in terms of research, in terms about commercialization, and in terms about impact, and try to be part of it. So many opportunities are opening up, and this is really a good time to do that. Blockchain will continue to gain attraction, and we are in academia as a researcher, as a students who want to do their PhD and master. We have to be highly adaptive, especially in ICT. Things are coming all the time, changing all the time, and we have to sort of be really highly adaptive and follow the cheese. And with that, we have to do lots of reading, okay? So that we can be ready. And you can see the word ready, the word read is part of ready. And with that, I thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Khaled, for this pleasant presentation. Very interesting. Now we will open the floor for questions.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Dr. Khaled, for the enlightening presentation. I was hoping that you could touch on the potential of human beings being a thing on the internet. There's so many applications, it's already started with the military. Soldiers are things with the C4I technologies.
Okay. Human as things. I mean, we hear about wearable, injectable, devices that humans can use. But I watched like an interesting, also interesting clip where you're talking about not soldiers, but when you play sport and soccer, there are wearables. They're part of the T-shirt of the player where they put different sensors. So when they do the replay for the game, they can track like Messi when he was and how he moved, and that's all kind of automated, right? So the traceability and tractability of the humans, where they are and how they move, and you take that data, you shoot it also in the cloud. I mean, you cannot do it locally. You have to shoot it in the cloud because that's where you do analytics at the scale, and you do it instantly. So you need more compute power. We just scale so fast. So your example with military can be applied. So if you are in a battlefield and the heat is on, and you want to really give guidance, attack or defense guidance to your soldiers, that you can track. You can put these all wearables there and track them. So the application is so good. And, I can think of so many massive projects in that field.
From this side, do you have any question here? No questions? So we'll move back here.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, for the nice presentation. Regarding smart devices, smart vehicles, what are the expectations of the scientists that these all will be able to replace the human intelligence?
No, AI is not my field, but what happens to do really good AI algorithms, you need to be able to collect lots of data. I read an article that saying that China will really surpass and pass the US in terms of AI development because they have a huge amount of data they can collect and they can put out for use. So with IoT, that data, like about, you have to collect it. For example, now you can predict the failure of an engine, or you don't have to change the engine oil every 5,000 kilometers, for example. You do it when it's needed, and the engine, the engine will notify you when that is needed or not. So things become this way become more efficient. So, but you cannot do this without AI and without algorithms. So you've got IoT, shooting and pulling all of this data, storing it in the cloud, but you need the machine learning and the deep learning algorithms to perform all of that. So I think another nice talk on this would be, I mean, that's what's really hot. IoT, and that wasn't the Gantt chart, but the AI is not like my field. So also like imprisoned with what I know, what I'm good. But AI is really risky. It's really, people say like, well, wins the AI war would be like, the leader of the new world, and that's very true. So AI, IoT, cloud, you need the cloud for that, and the blockchain for the, the applications I alluded to.